reading's important to me because it widens my imagination.
I love reading because it transports me usually to a world where I can escape.
It's time just for me to start, sit down, put my feet up and get lost in a plot, in a character, and everything else just disappears.
The passports are short publications which have a number of pages which aim to guide readers towards a range of different types of reading, from newspapers through to Shakespeare, through to novels, comics, magazines, all sorts of different types of reading, and encourage them to think a little bit about what they're reading and record it, and so that they build into a really useful and interesting record of the reading that each child has done.
We should challenge those kind of preconceptions we have as teachers that all students should be going out and reading something very literary and with a lot of words in it, and sort of really testing and challenging their vocabulary. And actually, we should be just rejoicing in the fact that students want to pick up something, no matter what it is, even if it's a magazine. You know, it doesn't matter what the literature is, as long as they are wanting to read. And then their interest will expand and they will want to pick up something different.
I think children do need a physical stamp to sort of sometimes say, look, I'm doing well, I'm progressing, these are the sections I've filled in. It's also quite good to see where their weaknesses are, say, oh, you've got lots of the fiction section filled in, but not much of the non-fiction. What could you do to fill that section in and get them thinking about their reading habits? What makes you choose your next book? Have you ever thought of doing it this way? What about recommendations? Have you thought about getting a character that's not the same sex as you, or have you thought of going a different genre that you normally like?
When I know that I'm getting nearer to the end of the book, I get really excited. I don't know why, it's just that I know that I've completed the book. And then when I finished it, I think about it, and then I'll move on to another book and see, and by the same author, and then I'll compare the books, see how he's changed his stories.
When I was invited to be the patron of the Rooted in Reading project, I was delighted to discover that it was built around this notion of reading passports, because, well, the passports are literally just small booklets in which people of all ages and all reading circumstances can list the books they've read, they can put down comments and feelings about them. It's a way of people sharing their reading ideas and their reading experiences, and also for those developing readers, keeping a bit of a tally of how they're going as they start that journey.
I think what's important about reading is that it reaches children in a way that nothing else does. So when you read a whole book, you engage with ideas, you engage with feelings, you engage with sympathy. And you know, we try all the time to get children engaged and interested, and here are these things called books that do it for you. You know, we think if we wave our hand in this particular way, or we put this bit of material and so on, but books do it for you. So why not go with the flow, use what books have got? So here's a project in Lincoln that is doing that, in Lincoln and Lincolnshire, and I'm thinking, of course, you must support it. That's my job.
The things in my life I never forget are the things I've discovered for myself. One thing we always have is our imagination, which is a place where we can do exactly what we want, and we can have fun there, we can do interesting and exciting things there, we can solve problems there, we can rehearse aspects of our life, work out what we might like to do to try and make things better. It's this brilliant kind of fun. Because reading is also a journey, it's not just a journey through learning to read. Books, stories, information, every single book has a journey within it, and it forms a part of our life's journey of understanding ourselves and the world better. And like all exciting and sometimes unexpected journeys, it helps if there are some guides around.
When you get your passport, you want to read, so you want to get your stamps for it, and then so you sort of get into the habit of reading. So I like having the reading passports because it makes you more into writing as well, not just reading.
Like, because you never say that's wrong, I didn't stamp it. You always get your stamps. It's just like remind you that that one's done. You've got to move on to the next.
If you have loads of stamps, there you can only look back and look at what books you've read, and if you haven't got stamps, you don't know. If you haven't got stamps, you don't know if what you've done and what you've not.
And sometimes, if you've read a book a long time ago, and you read it again, and you remember it, if you've put it in there, you can look back and see if you read it.